Welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm MK.
And I'm Courtney.
And Courtney, how are you?
I had a thought that I was going to talk about this episode, and it has left me. Um, so I guess I'm here to talk about books.
Yeah.
Because I've officially started our podcast book club. I mentioned the last episode. We'll be reading Frankenstein soon. It currently will likely be about Penny Dreadful, but I am obviously leaving it open for all horror and sci-fi following any
Yes.
literary any things we end up with the non-literary references.
Yes.
Um, so I've been trying to read again because I didn't get to read a lot at the beginning of this month because I was on a cruise and then it was my birthday and now it's Thanksgiving and
Yeah.
every day is a new adventure. Um, but I finished the third book in the Carval series
Okay.
and I am obsessed with Stephanie Garber. I
Are you
think the
gonna do
third
once?
one is my
Are you gonna
favorite.
do once
Yeah,
upon a time, the Once Upon a Broken Heart,
A
but
Broken
not,
Heart. Yeah,
but
yeah.
not say those words?
Yeah, I mean they have the I think it's technically a novella. It's
Mm.
spectacular.
Mm.
Is after finale, so we'll read that next. I'm
Yeah.
reading it with one of my book clubs, and so
I think. Oh, didn't it just come out though?
mm, I think within the last year probably. I
Oh,
don't know if it was
okay.
yesterday, but
No, I know,
it's
but I think it was sometime this year that it came out though. Like,
yeah, I think so. I think so. But oh my gosh, I know I just talked about Alchemy of Secrets a few months ago, which was the first one I read by her. And I just obsessed. And now I've read the Carval series, obsessed. She's my new Kingfisher. I know I talked about Teen Kingfisher for ages.
yeah.
But then I read more of her books and I'm just like,
Mm.
it's kind of but I did just read oh my gosh, what was the Kingfisher book I just read that I was like, we're back, baby. Um because I read the ones that were on the literary references. So she did one that was supposed to be a retelling of House Fall of the House of Usher, and then she did a different retelling. But she just did one. I literally just read it. My God, this is how my brain works. Where timeline? I never can remember how to find my timeline. I just read Thorn Hedge, didn't hit, didn't hit.
Mm.
Um, but maybe it was on Hoopla. I have too many apps that have all my books on them, so I never remember which one's which. Um, but it's also a series, Clockwork Boy series. So it's
Okay.
what's the first one called? Sword Heart. Obsessed. Just it hit Nettle and Bolt did when I first read it. So I was like, this is the Kingfisher I need to read. These
Okay.
fantasy YA slash adult. I think Sword Heart might fall a little more YA than adult. I think
Okay.
Nettle and Bone was more adult. But that vein, I'm not trying to read the Wizard's Guide to Baking, Defensive Guide to Baking was not it. I'm not these retellings aren't doing it for me. But these original fantasy stories,
Yeah.
I'm thriving. So I really liked Sword Heart. Really liked the finale of Caraval. I can't wait to read Spectacular. That was the best one of the series. I don't usually say the finale is the best,
Yeah.
uh, but it really pulled everything together and I don't know if you know anything about Caraval.
I
Um,
don't, it's on my list, but don't actually really know anything about what it's about.
So basically, the first I'm not giving you any plot information,
Yeah.
but the first book is from one sister's point of view. The second book is from the other sister's point of view, and then they mesh it all together in the third book.
Oh,
And so it
okay.
felt like it really completed. It really was well
Okay.
done, and I didn't get sick of one sister like I did in some of them.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just obsessed. So I'm trying to get back into reading more. I'm reading the Haunting of Payne's Hollow. I have to finish it today for book club tomorrow. But it's only 275 pages, and I'm
Okay.
I have 200 pages left, so I
Okay.
I will probably be fine. Um, but yeah, so I'm just I missed books, and I'm ready to read more
Yeah.
of them. But I think I'm back on a trajectory of having a little more time to read.
No,
So
yeah,
hopefully,
I have not had time to read. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's my life reading, and that's it. That's all I want to do these days again.
good.
How are you?
Wow. I am having the best week of my life.
Are you? That's not how we started the last episode.
It's not. It's because I've been holding this in because I had to share it on this episode. So before this episode, I just sent you a picture of me watching a
Mhm.
video on my phone and like crying in pure joy. And that video,
Oh, duh, duh. I
it,
know what we're talking about.
that video was an interview with Joseph Malozzi, Brad Wright,
Jomo.
and Martin Darrow, because the three of them are the ones working with Amazon to bring Stargate back. It is official. It is official. It's been announced by Amazon and by the three of them as the producers. And everyone who was working on the production is part of the original Stargate universe. It is not a reboot. It is a continuation, but it is
Okay.
they're specifically doing it in the way that both Atlantis and the universe are continuations, but they're not set exactly the same. They're doing it in a way that anyone could pick up at this series and not have to have watched the original three series to understand the show, but that everything will still be in canon with the original series and it will not take away from anything that was done. Um, Michael Shanks just
So
did an
it's gonna be
interview.
like a spin-off.
Oh yeah, it's going to be like another part of the multiverse,
Yeah.
basically. Michael Shanks did an interview this morning that I have not had a chance to watch yet. Um, as of right now, they have not announced any cast or any concept stuff, just that it exists and that it's officially 100% in development, going to be done. MGM and Amazon are working together to do this. Um, was crying, texting me. He was freaking out, and I was like, watching the video, just like sobbing, and Dan was laughing at me and taking pictures of me like crying while I was watching this video. Um, they're so excited about it. And the interview that I was watching, they were giving the interview to the people who run uh Gate World
Hmm.
and what's the other one? I don't remember what the other thing is, but they're the two like online forums basically. And um they were talking about the fact that Gate World existed before the internet fandoms were a thing. Like you have to remember Stargate ended 14 years ago.
Hmm.
So,
Like all of it? Like
all of it. The
universe?
universe ended 14 years ago. So, sorry, Stargate ended 14 years ago. So, internet and fandom and binge watching, none of this even was a thought that we had during the time. And these few online fan communities and these interviewers and these people who made it their mission to like have a global fan base are the reason we're able to do this still, that people still care about this show so much. And so they gave the exclusive first interview to them and not to a major like news network or anything like that. And it is like, and so now the internet is just all of my Stargate groups are just people like freaking out trying to figure out what the next show is going to be, who's going to be in, like what if any of the actors are going to come back, like. And they in the interview they asked about actors coming back, and Martin was like, "Please just like give us time. Like we're finally able to announce this, and that is so big for people. We don't want to like overwhelm people. Like we will give
Right.
more." Um, so by the time you guys are listening to this podcast, we might have more information. I don't know, but like Doug was like, "Stargate is never gonna end, and your podcast is never gonna."
Yeah, let's
Um,
go.
so I'm like completely freaking out. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because it's so important that not only is it coming back, it's coming back with the original team and they're not letting outsiders like touch it and change it. I actually saw a meme that was really funny because it had a picture. It was like the Grim Reaper at the door with all the bloody doors knocking on the next door meme. And it like said Star Trek and it said Star Wars and the Grim Reaper said J.J. Abrams and it was knocking on the door and it was the Stargate team flipping him off. Because
Oh, that's amazing.
they're not gonna touch our stuff and ruin it. It's all the original team. Um,
Yeah.
we don't have a timeline yet. We don't have a cast. We don't have a concept. We just have official Amazon approved proof that it is happening.
I'm
So
so excited.
I
I
know
know I saw it because you posted on our Instagram that
I
it
wasn't.
premiered.
Yeah.
And so I texted Mary Kate and I was like, what is this? And she's like, we'll talk about it on Sunday. And I was like, this is really giving we need to talk energy. And all I want to know is what's going on. But I
Yeah.
don't want to like Google it because I don't want to spoil anything that I have no
Right, right. Well, and that's why I was like, but I
say.
also like, I was like, I want to be able to tell you in person
Yeah,
and not just be like, it's coming back because that doesn't really mean anything to you at
right,
this point.
right.
And us also, especially like, I mean, we're about, I would say we're about halfway-ish through our journey into Stargate because we have done the original movie. We've done the first 7.5 seasons of the original show, the first half season of Atlantis.
8.5.
No, 7.5. We're in the
Oh, 7.5. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're at season 8.
we're in season
Okay.
8, yes. So we have 2.5 seasons left of the original show. We have 4.5 seasons left of Atlantis, and we have the 2 seasons of Universe. We also have 2 movies left. Um,
Oh, right. I keep forgetting
so
there's more movies.
yeah. So I mean, I'd say we're between a third and a half of the way through this journey.
Probably half because we did the Catherine thing too.
Yeah, I really don't know why we did that. I regret everything about watching Origins, but that's fine. Um, but I just, I'm so, it's so in an age where everything is nostalgia and reboots. It's so exciting to have it something that I'm actually nostalgic about come back and come
In
back
the
in a
right
way
way.
that I know it's going to be done correctly.
Yeah.
Um, so
I'm very excited for you. I mean, I'm obviously very excited. I'm becoming in love with Stargate also.
right.
But it's obviously not the same for me as it is for you.
Right, because
So I'm
you
very
weren't
excited for you.
you weren't 12 years old crying over Jason Momoa, like watching the show for
Correct.
the first time. So um
Correct. Accurate.
um
Accurate.
but yeah, so Stargate is coming back and
I'm so excited.
I mean, based on how long it is taking us to do it,
We'll be fine.
by the time we actually finish everything that we have to watch first, it will be in time, to be doing the show. We might get to the point where we're breaking my rules and we're watching things like week to week as they come out, which might be crazy, and I don't know what we'll do. But
How? I won't be called up.
well, no, I mean, but think about it. If it goes for 4 seasons, like if it keeps going, we're gonna get to a
Oh, oh, I see. If we get caught up and they're still
we're
airing
going to
while we're
get
halfway
yeah,
through, I see.
if we get caught up
Yeah, yeah,
and then the show does well and it continues past a season or two, we're going to eventually get to the point where we're watching week to week.
yeah. I thought you were telling me that once it started, we would skip to that and watch week to week. And I was like, I'm not
No,
gonna be ready. I
no,
won't know
no, no,
what's
no,
going
no,
on.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. That would not make any sense for you.
No, it wouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Those are
but
the
I
words
mean,
I'm
like,
saying.
I mean, think about it. I mean, this has been going on so far. We said we're probably about halfway through, and we've been doing it for about 3 years. Um, so if
4 years.
the oh no,
We
oh
announced
yeah,
spring of 21. We were doing
yeah,
Stargate.
yeah. So was it? Oh, it
And it's
was.
winter of 25.
Okay, so like almost, yeah. But okay, but so the show we don't even have an air date yet. So the earliest it could start is probably
A year.
at least the earliest it would start would be fall of 26.
Yeah.
Um, and then if it lasts 4 seasons or more, by the time we get there, we will, it'll be crazy. So yeah,
All
so
right, I'll get
that's
better at marketing because people have to listen to this before that. So, and
yeah,
this is the time to market.
yeah. So it'll be really, really exciting. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry. I'm gonna cry every day. Well,
I'm so
once they
excited.
start like announcing details and things and they start bringing people back, like so somebody commented on one of the Stargate forums and was like, "How many Deloises do you think will be involved in the new show?"
All of them. Every one of them.
every one of them. So yeah, so it's just all very exciting. So that is my it's not really about my life, but that's what I wanted
That's
to
fine.
share as my personal stuff for today because it's so exciting.
Yes,
And
I love it.
as I find out more, I will share with you guys. So yeah,
I'm so
which
excited.
means I have my work cut out for me because I have to actually like actively look for the interviews and stuff instead of just like waiting for things to fall in my lap.
Correct.
But it's fine.
Correct.
It's great. Like I said, I know Michael Shanks gave an interview today, but it was like an hour and I didn't have time to listen to it. And I don't think that he is not officially involved. He just was like giving his thoughts. So,
He's gonna be involved. He can't leave. I mean, I don't know that he'll be like acting or
right.
whatever, but like I think he'll be involved in some way. Like, I mean, obviously I don't know where he ends up because we're still with him.
But we're going to talk
But
a lot about him today.
Michael Shanks has left and come back, and
Yeah.
I don't think he's capable of leaving Stargate. I don't think he has it in him. So
So, before we get into speaking more about Michael Shanks and this insane episode we just watched, can you give me some joy to go with my overwhelming joy that I already have?
yes, because I know what that word means. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller.
All right. I have seen so many Helen Keller conspiracy theories. I'm
It's oh yes.
I'm pretty confident that my sister doesn't believe in
No.
color.
No.
I'm pretty,
So it's these children. My supervisor came up to me the other day and she says, I'm in the middle of a debate. I said, great, I'm in. What are we debating?
yeah.
And she said, you know Helen Keller? Yes.
Yes.
Correct. And she goes, do you think she was real?
No, 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 no. My sister doesn't think she was fictional. My sister thinks that she wasn't actually able to do or accomplish all the things that they credit to her because of her
So
disability. Like that's
that's where we ended up. But
yes.
that was where we started was, do you think she's real? And I
Yeah.
said,
Yes.
yes. And then she says, do you think she was really blind and deaf? And I said, yes.
Yes.
And she says, how do you think they taught her to read? And I said, I think it probably took a minute, but like there's they
Yeah.
do things with the throat, they
No.
do braille, like I can't do it, but I think other people can teach her things.
I
Like,
do think that there is some merit to the idea that she might not have been completely deaf. She might have been like
mm,
somewhere on the
yeah.
spectrum where she was not able to like pick up language by listening to it really, but she was not like 100% like
Yeah.
nothing.
See, I can get behind that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Because she did lose her hearing as a child, like a
Child.
what, like a toddler, infant, I think is what it was. So like,
Yeah.
there's a possibility there's still stuff like
Right.
fine.
And I do think that a lot of what Annie Sullivan did to help her might have been Annie doing more of the work than she actually
Yeah.
says she did.
Well, it's like
Uh,
they said she flew a plane, and it's like she was in a plane that someone that gave her a control to hold while they held the
right.
one that actually plugged in.
Yeah.
Like, it's that's and I'm like, okay, these are things I can understand why you're like, that didn't really happen that way. It's like fair.
Yeah, no, but she was real.
However, do I think she was real? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I didn't know that was the thing until she walked up to me at work and asked me.
Well,
And then I was
here's the
like,
thing.
what is happening right now?
I can get behind conspiracy theories because I think that they're so
Love
interesting
a conspiracy theory,
and I
for sure.
honestly like I was watching a video the other day that was like, why on earth like not to give credit to the things he's saying, but of course RFK Jr. is fucking insane. The government killed his
Right.
entire family.
Sure. Yes.
Like
Yes.
so
Again,
like
I mean, I started saying that in the beginning when they're like, he's running for all this stuff, but he's got a brainworm and he's saying crazy stuff. And I'm like, what is his other option? Like,
right,
I'm not supporting him, but what is his other option? I'm
right.
not surprised. Like,
The CIA killed his dad and his uncle. Like
right, right.
but the one that I can't figure out is the moon
And his
landing.
uncle's lover.
Yeah. And the moon landing, and we've talked about this, about why people think that the moon landing is fake.
I know.
I found out that one of my friends, who is much smarter than most people,
People, other people, yeah.
and she also is not 100% sure about the moon landing. And I was like, no,
No.
no. But then I saw a video the other day where someone asked Neil deGrasse Tyson about it, and he's like, "Are you fucking stupid?"
I've I've seen so many of these things. He's over people. I don't know if you've seen, but
He
like people
is,
start asking him the dumbest questions,
but he's
and he's
like,
just like, "What is wrong with you?" Like he's not no longer being like, "Let's take it a minute," because that's who he was in the day. We heard he's
yeah,
like very calm, and
and he
and
and
now he's
he
just like, "What is wrong with you?"
And he is very he immediately then goes and explains why like everyone who
Sure,
thinks that we didn't get to the moon has no knowledge of physics, and it's actually not as difficult as people think it is, and if you have the math and science skills,
right?
it's very easy to prove why this happened and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And they were like, "Do you really think it would have looked like?" They were talking about like astronauts in their spacesuits. He goes, "Yes, that's what that suit does." He was like, "If you were walking around on the moon in a t-shirt, it would look different, but like, yes." And but he literally just was like, "Are you fucking stupid?"
yeah.
And I wanted to
I
send
would
that
like
to everyone.
For real, 100%. I would like to point everyone to the direction of Sinisterhood just released their live show that they did for 2 years. It was the Full Moon Tour, and they did it on the moon landing.
Yeah.
I would like to point you to that direction if you don't
Well,
believe in that, because they have done a lot of research and have done they have a lot of
yeah.
interviews with people. Like I mean, Sinisterhood, they're very well done with that.
Yeah. Listen,
And it's like $10.
but like Neil deGrasse Tyson was able to watch the Barbie movie and determine where in Florida Barbie Land is based on the position of the moon and the water in the set of Barbie. If he says we went to the moon, we fucking went to the moon.
Right, right. Like again, do we think Helen Keller's real? Yes. Did we go to the moon? Yes. These are
These ones are,
non-negotiables.
did the CIA kill JFK? Yes.
Yeah. Are birds real? Who's to say?
That
I'm
one, okay, that one, listen, I love birds. I love birds. I love
hate
birds.
birds.
We all know how I feel about birds. I love birds. But I saw a post the other day that fucked me up because somebody posted something that was like, "I haven't seen a single pigeon since the government shut down." And I realized I hadn't either. And it fucked me
Terrifying.
up. To be fair, I don't actually see pigeons very often. There aren't a lot of pigeons where I live. Um, but yeah, that fucked me up because I was like, it's not all birds. I think it's just pigeons.
I think so too, because I mean, and there's evidence that the government has used birds for like
Well, yeah, I mean
communicating.
pigeons were
Yeah,
message carriers for a long time. If the government is
right.
still using pigeons, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, the entire 2 months the government was shut down, I didn't see a single pigeon.
I mean, me either. I mean, we have
So,
pigeons here, but I didn't see one. So that is, it really upsets a lot of people when I tell them that, and it's nothing brings me more joy than telling people birds aren't real. Um,
yeah.
it's truly the light of my life, the
Yeah.
light of my life.
So, things that aren't conspiracy theories. Stargate. Well, actually, no,
I don't know.
that
I don't
actually
know.
is
I
that
was
actually
like that is a named conspiracy
conspiracy.
theory. I don't.
Yes.
We've
Actually,
talked
no.
about that in a
We've
wrap
talked
up
about that
before.
a lot about how this is probably actually just real. Um,
My
so
lighting changed. I was
yeah.
trying to adjust. That wasn't it
So
though.
Stargate SG-1, Season 8, Episode 12, Prometheus Unbound. Which is only ironic because if you want to hear me go way off the deep end about Prometheus, tune into Thursday's episode of the podcast. So
Last
it
Thursday's episode.
no, next this coming up.
You haven't gone off of it yet.
No, I talked about Proteus last week, but
Oh,
Prometheus
I
is
think
this
they're the
week.
same.
They are
I think they were the same.
not. They're not, and I'm gonna go on a deep dive on it on the next episode.
Excellent. Can't wait.
Um,
Can't wait.
it was rated 8.4 stars, and it came out on January 27th, 2005. If you everything that we talked about last week is the same because we're still back to backing our episodes. This episode was directed by Andy Makita, written by Damian Kindler, and edited by Stein Mierstad. We've talked about it before. Um,
Wasn't It's
it's
not in
he.
my repertoire of names that I recognize.
Yes, no, he's done a couple, but they're pretty spaced out usually. So
Mm.
you probably don't remember his name often. But the star we're gonna talk about is Claudia Black, who I love. She's known for Farscape, The Peacekeeper Wars, Farscape, Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, and Pitch Black. Sh-
Okay, Farscape is the show I don't know anything about, but it always wants me to watch Farscape when I'm
mm,
on Amazon. And the main guy, the first time I see it pop up, always makes me think of Michael Shanks. And it's not him.
it's not him. His name's Ben Browder. Um,
But every time I like open my Amazon, I'm like, is Michael Shanks in a different show I didn't know about? And
no,
then I'm like, that's Farscape. I've looked at this 30 times. It's still
yeah,
not him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was the lead, one of the leads in Farscape. She was also in Ahsoka. She was in Roswell, New Mexico, and she was in the
Oh,
originals.
I watched that.
I know that's why
I watched 3 seasons. I think there's some I haven't seen, but I
she
watched
was she
like
was
a
she
lot
was
of
not
it.
like in like a main character, but she definitely was a
Mhm.
recurring character. She was probably in I think like 9 episodes.
I think that's why I recognized her because I binged the first like 3 seasons when
Yeah.
it came out, or maybe 2 seasons when it came out.
Uh, she was born in Sydney, Australia. And she has a very distinct accent, but she's also known for her ability to switch accents. She has lived in Australia, New Zealand, the US, and the UK, and her voice doesn't really sound like any of the four of them. So that's really fun.
Interesting.
Her work since moving to the US is primarily science fiction and voice work. She does a lot of video game voices. Um,
Such as.
well, like she is the girl in all the Uncharted games,
Okay.
which is her biggest one. I'm trying to
I
think
haven't played that one yet.
what the one that she was working on most recently was. Oh, Claudia Black. Let's see. Filmography. She, where are we? She was in the Wolfenstein games. She's in the Destiny
Mm.
games. She has
Mm-hmm.
done some Call of Duty voices, some Gears of War voices, Killing Floor, Dragon Age, Middle Earth,
Oh, I love Dragon Age.
Diablo, Spider-Man games, Mass Effect, like
I
yeah.
like Mass Effect too. No.
So like Final Fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
so like all of the big
All
ones.
the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only big one that oh, just kidding, she was in God of War. I was gonna say the only big one she didn't do was God of War, but just kidding, she was in God of War too.
JK.
Yeah, so
Who
all
was
of
she in God of War? Does it say? I've not played God of War yet. I really want to.
I have not either, except for that I really want to because Christopher Judge is
Oh, right. I always forget that.
yeah.
I always forget that.
Christopher Judge, not Ryan Murphy, Ryan Hurst,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Claudia Black are all voices in God of War games, and so I feel like I need to just because of the three of them. So
Well, also, like, I think that one's got the closest storyline of things you're interested in.
yeah,
Like, it feels like I think I really like it, but I also think you like it.
yeah. Um, According to like IMDb, her defining feature is her gorgeous long, thick black hair. But like she actually dyed her hair blonde in 2015 and has been rocking it like super blonde and curly for like a decade. And it's so funny that that's like
Good
still
for
considered
her.
her like defining trait.
That's really
Um,
funny.
she right now her current project she's working on a Stars show that I think either just came out or is about to come out called Spartacus. So that is
Like, based off 300? Like,
it's called like Spartacus, and then there's like something. I mean, it's all based on like it's called Spartacus House of Usher. Um,
feels like a little bit of a
or sorry,
crossover.
Asher, Ashur. Um, but oh no, so Spartacus is a mini series on Stars, and how Blood and Sand was one, Gods of the Arena was the other. Like they have all these different things, but the House of Asher, um, I don't know. It's all like based on that. stuff. Like it's based on like the
Yeah,
Spartacus, like the myth and all that stuff. But there's a new like remake of the about the Greek fighting peoples or whatever, and she's gonna be in that.
interesting.
Her birthday is October 11th, and it is possibly in the year 1972, but she's super cagey and she will never tell anybody exactly what year she was born in,
Good
which
for her.
is fantastic, right? So
Yes,
nobody,
that's the
no,
correct way to do acting. You can't
yeah,
tell people how old you are.
nobody is entirely sure exactly how old she is. Um, but yes,
Good for her.
she is fantastic. Also, like I said, I made a very big deal about her character coming back, so I don't feel
Yeah.
bad sharing this slight spoiler. This character was originally only written to exist in this episode, but Claudia Black and Michael Shank's chemistry was so great that they brought her back. I won't say
So I
when.
got that vibe watching this episode that I was like, she's not supposed to be here, but they're definitely gonna bring her back. Like
Yes.
I watched this and knew that, like without you
Yes.
telling me.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm not gonna like do any spoilers about when, where,
sure,
how, but
sure.
yes, they were like, yeah, that was great. Come back. Um so we love it. There's one other spoiler-esque or like not spoiler trivia thing that I want to talk about before the episode starts because it's really
Mhm.
important to understand the format of this episode. This episode takes place concurrently with Gemini, which was
This
the
was
which was the Replicarter episode.
okay. Okay, that's why we don't
So
have
that's why there's no Teal
Carter.
or Carter. They're not there. And that's
Yeah,
why it
yeah, yeah.
starts with the same conversation that Daniel was having with Carter at the beginning of that episode. And then basically the teams split. And this episode
Gotcha.
is happening at the exact same time.
I was gonna ask about that, so I'm
Yes.
glad you've clarified.
Yes. So again, so we do start with that conversation about whether Daniel can go to the Atlantis mission or not. In Gemini, we saw him talking to Sam and then getting in the elevator. This episode starts with him in the elevator with Jack. So
Right.
literally same starting point. They're arguing about whether Daniel can go on the mission. Daniel wants to go. Jack is like, over my fucking dead body. And he's like,
Mhm.
why do you even want to go? And Daniel says all the things that we know to be true. He is the only one who can translate ancient. He is the most qualified person on the entire planet for this mission. Um,
Yep.
they get to Jack's office and find Lieutenant General George Hammond sitting in O'Neill's office chair.
Surprise!
um, he says that he's missed his chair, and Jack thinks that that means he's coming back. And he's like, please, thank God. Um,
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I just actually am gonna take this chair and get you a new one. But we find out that he is there because he is going to be the mission lead on the flying Prometheus to Atlantis. And for all of the same reasons that Daniel believes Daniel should go on the mission, Hammond has overruled Jack and is taking Daniel with him to Atlantis. And he's also taking Walter,
Yeah.
which
His bestie.
his
Why would he
bestie,
not?
of course, of course. So, poor Jack just lost. So Sam and Teal'c are on the Alpha site, and now Daniel and Walter are also being like yoinked from him, along with SG-3, which he doesn't say, but we find out that SG-3 is also going. So, who does Jack even have left at the
I thought it
SGC
did
at
say
this point?
SG-3 was going.
Oh no, I mean we know, but but it's not part of this dialogue. I think we found that out from Sam in the last episode.
No, I think it was this episode because I didn't know who because I
Oh, I
would
mean,
never
no, I mean,
remembered
but we
that
find out
I'm
when
alive.
we get to the ship. But I mean,
Oh, I see, I see, I
in the
see. Yeah,
dialogue
yeah, yeah.
between when Hammond is telling him who he's taking, he doesn't also
Mhm.
announce that SG-3 is going. We do find that out obviously, and we see SG-3
Gotcha.
on the ship.
Yeah.
But also, it's been a really long time since we talked about this, so I don't know if you remember. But they have been
Mhm.
very like inconsistent with the numbering of the SG teams. Um and there was at some point a theory that only the odd number SG teams were Air Force and even number SG teams were other groups, and that's why we really only ever hear about the odd numbered ones.
This vaguely sounds familiar.
Right, except for then I think about the fact that Kowalski was on SG-2
Mm,
and so was Makepeace.
mm.
So that actually doesn't make sense, and that
Maybe
is
they're like, we're not claiming Makepeace, so I don't,
well,
you
that's true.
know.
But that's like one of my like plot holy things is I don't actually know if they even care or know what the ranking of the
Right.
SG teams are. But SG-3, we've met Colonel Reynolds before. He's an important person. Their team is very qualified. We know them.
Yeah.
So, um, we go to the Prometheus. Daniel is briefing. He's running the briefing to talk about Atlantis and what's going to happen there. And we meet uh Dr. Novak, who has the most obnoxious case of the hiccups of all time.
Oh my gosh. Do we know her? You said we
No,
meet
this
her,
is we
right?
meet her. We meet her for the first time.
Okay.
It turns out that she was apparently offered a spot on the Atlantis mission in the first place, but she turned it
Hmm.
down because she was too nervous. And
Was
apparently
nervous,
she
yeah.
hiccups when she's nervous, and it's just going really, really well for her. Um,
Hmm.
So as they're all talking and they're doing the briefing, an alarm goes off and they go to the bridge and they are picking up a distress call. They drop out of hyperspace and they find a gold Alcash just kind of sitting dead in space, looking very suspicious. Um, and but it is sending a human distress signal. So they're like, well, we don't know what that means. And Daniel's like, it could be a trap. And Hammond's like,
Right.
you're right, but it also could be a person. And like, we can't just leave them behind.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
so SG-3 gets sent to the Alkesh to investigate. They find four dead Jaffa. But then before they can warn everyone on the Prometheus what's happening, they get stunned by a call warrior who transports over to the Prometheus. Now, here's the thing. Then, once the call warrior gets there, they start stunning people also. However, that's a problem. Not in the sense that it's stunning all the people. That's obviously a problem.
Sure.
But I know it's been a little bit since we've seen the Call Warriors.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the Call Warriors don't stun people.
Okay.
They shoot to kill. They've only ever
I was gonna
had,
say, don't they kill people? Just kill
they
people?
just kill people. They just shoot to kill. And Daniel immediately knows that that's incorrect. He's a little suspicious. Um, but then somehow this Call Warrior collects all the bodies that they have stunned and brings the entire crew of the Prometheus onto the Alcash, except for Daniel.
Hmm.
So Daniel gets to the bridge. He had seen the Call Warrior and went to the armory and grabbed the the weapon that they have modified to take out Call Warriors that works with the electricity in the suit or whatever, and grabs the personal defense weapon and with the call disruptor sneaks up on the call and shoots it twice in the back, but it does nothing. Then the call turns around and shoots Daniel with a Zat gun, just stunning once. Again, suspicious.
Yep, yep.
Because, first of all, if the call disruptor does not work, that's questionable. Either Ball
Right.
has figured something new out that they're not prepared for,
Which would not be great.
would not be great. Or this is not what they think it
Not
is.
a call warrior. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So meanwhile, the Prometheus crew is attempting to get the Alcash running again. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They figure out that on the Alcash they have life support systems, but just barely, and that is about it. Um, Daniel wakes up. He's on the bridge and he's tied up in a chair. Um, he tries to make small talk with the warrior. And he brings up the fact that like call warriors don't stun people. Everything's really suspicious. Uh, the warrior takes off its helmet, and we find out that this is Vala Maldoran. Um, she she immediately is the feistiest person Daniel has ever met. He's like, "Why am I the only one here?" She's like, "Because you're attractive." Like, I don't want to tell you. She's like, "I wanted to look at you." Like, she's just immediately like, yeah. She was like, "I needed somebody to help me with the command codes, and you were the cutest." Like, what?
Yeah. Which
Um,
is the right reason. The right
correct.
reason.
So she is trying to extract the Prometheus codes from Daniel. He's resisting. He gets out of his bonds and gets free of the situation. Um, Only she's already reprogrammed the computers to get rid of all of SG's command codes and only her own command codes work because she
Hmm.
is so smart. Um,
Yeah.
uh, they while they're like working on these ships, an Alcash appears on their radar. It is the Alcash with the Prometheus crew, but they don't know that. And Vala is afraid that the Goa'uld are looking for her. Um, so she explains that she stole the ship because she's trying to help her people. They're refugees because of the rebellion against the Goa'uld, and she, yeah, is this when we yeah, they fight a lot and he puts her in they like fight a lot. There's a lot of just the two of them like hand to hand combating each other.
Yeah.
Um and oh, I once again copied the notes from somebody who really did a terrible job of doing it. Um so but basically she's flirting with him the entire time. He keeps trying to shoot her and she's like, "Yeah, but I'm wearing a Cull Warrior suit. It's not gonna happen. At least take my clothes off first." Like she is so feisty.
She's so saucy. I love it.
She's amazing. He eventually overpowers her and gets her in the brig where he does in fact change her out of the Cull Warrior suit so that she is in just regular clothes. And she's like, "Wow, you had to wait till I was unconscious to get me naked." But she goes, "You've already seen me naked, at least buy me dinner." And so he feeds her, and while she's eating, he's literally just sitting there at the end of the table with the zap pointed at her while she eats, like guarding her,
Just in case.
just in case. And he tells her that she used to be host to a Goa'uld, but the Tok'ra saved her and removed the Goa'uld from her, and then her people were overtaken by Camulus. And he was like, "Yeah, but Camillus is gone," which we knew, but we didn't really know. This is our proof that Baal certainly did not take well to the whole broken
Sure.
ZPM trick that Camillus tried to
Sure.
play. So Camillus is officially out of the picture. But unfortunately, that means that Baal's people, are now taking over all of Camulus's things, and so her people are still on the run. The Tok'ra abandoned her people because they were afraid of Baal. Um, so she has supposedly um, taken the ship to help rescue her people. So she and Daniel fight again. Um, um, and the ship ends up jumping into hyperspace toward the coordinates that she had already put in. And so he locks her back up in the bridge and he's like, "Tell me how to turn the ship around." And she's like, "I can't do that. I need to go there." So they get to the place that's supposedly her homeworld, and Daniel gets off the ship, um, just in time for Vala to be like, "Please don't do that, I lied."
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, there are no refugees that are at all. Vala is actually trying to trade the Prometheus for a very large quantity of refined weapons grade Naquita. Um, Daniel's trying to explain the situation to these aliens that were working with Vala, and a but a pair of death gliders gets there, and he zats the traders and heads back to the Prometheus. Now, all the while this is going on, we also they go back and forth more often. I skipped the back and forth, but all the while this is
Yeah, sure.
going on. Our team that is on the Prometheus is trying to figure out what to do. Um, the ship has only life support, but they um and they can't ring onto the Prometheus because it now jumped into hyperspace. It's not in the same place anymore.
Mhm.
So they are trying to solve the issue. Dr. Novak basically figures out that the only way to get the hyperdrive back, the only way to save anything is to get the hyperdrive back on so they can follow the Prometheus. She sent Dr. Hammond, or Dr. General Hammond agrees to um, go to the control room and remove and rearrange the crystals that are needed to do this. So he rings into the control room. However, it's then determined that because of the firefight that killed all the Jaffa and the minimal life support, the control room with the crystal control room is entirely filled with carbon dioxide. So
Not ideal for human.
no, so Hammond is really dizzy. He can't see anything. He basically passes out before he does get all the crystals out that he needs to get out, but he like then passes out.
I
Um,
thought this was the way he was going out. I thought this was, you were killing Hammond by having him do this one life-saving mission, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
yeah.
cry right now.
Um,
Forever.
so then they get him out of there. He's unconscious. Colonel Reynolds is trying to resuscitate him, and Walter is like, "You're gonna have to give him mouth to mouth,"
Yeah.
which Colonel Reynolds cannot fathom putting his mouth on General Hammond's mouth. He's freaking out a little bit. And then just in time, Hammond wakes up and tells them they need to get out of there right now.
Yeah.
Um, um, we go back, but so they've fixed the ship. They're now able to fly. They got the crystals out. General Hammond didn't die. Everything is great. The biggest problem is they now
It's
have
fine.
to. Everything's fine. But now they have to find the Prometheus. Flashback to the Prometheus. Daniel is forced to let Vala out of the cell because he cannot fly the ship by himself. And they try to get into hyperspace, but the hull's taken too much damage. They're trying to save the ship, but they're raising the shields and activating the weapons, but then the shields fail, and there are like a bunch more Death Gliders and some more Elcash, and they're being completely attacked by the Goa'uld. They're running out of ammunition. But then they notice that one of the Elcash is not firing at them, it's firing at the other Goa'uld ships. Um,
Uh-oh.
so they're like, either that's General Hammond, or we're in the middle of a
Or.
really fucking big Goa'uld war that we don't want to be in the middle
Uh-huh.
of. Luckily, it is Hammond. He radios to Daniel, and Daniel gets Vala to unlock the rings, like the transportation rings, and everybody comes back to the ship. Vala asks Daniel after everybody is safe and they've now ruined any plan she had of anything, um, what he's gonna do with her, and he's like, honestly, I don't really know, because he was totally into her sitting on top of him, telling him to take her clothes off too. He just couldn't say it. And
Yeah.
he's like, I really don't know. And she's about to like basically confess something to him when he just
Mm.
shoots her with the Zat and locks her in the brig again.
Yep.
Um, so unfortunately, once the team is there and they all go through everything, it turns out that the hull took too much damage to make the trip to Atlantis. So they are going to have to go back to Earth and repair before they can go do this Atlantis mission. And as they're getting ready to go to Earth to make the repair again, the alarm sounds, the transportation rings activate again, and Vala has escaped from prison and headed back to the Elcash, where she flies off into hyperspace to potentially never be seen again.
Mhm.
And that is the end of the episode.
Love it. This was a
So
really fun episode.
it's really high rated because it's funny, the dialogue is great, it's super sci-fi-y. There's like a lot of really random things in there, like Daniel's pseudonym when he doesn't want the aliens to know who he is Han, or is Hans, Olo instead of Han Solo.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just dumb things like that. But the Vala and Daniel like chemistry is just uh fantastic.
Right.
Um so the only other trivia I had, like most of the stuff that I wrote down to talk about were things that I already talked about because they were
You've
about
already talked
like,
about, yeah.
yeah. But the thing that the one thing that's like totally behind the scenes stuff is that basically Rob Cooper was like talking to the other producers and everything, and he was like, you know how we have this like really big, beautiful set that we built for the Prometheus that we then never use. We should probably have some more episodes
Yeah.
so that we can make up for the fact that we have
This a lot
this
of
fucking
money.
expensive spaceship set. And that is the inspiration for this episode. Not anything really story wise. They just were like, shit, we need
Sure.
to do an episode on the spaceship before we it is a waste of money. That was
Totally fair.
so that's why this episode takes place almost entirely on the the ship.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so what do you think? You have thoughts, theories, questions?
I love Claudia Black. She's a gem. Um, I'm thrilled that Hammond didn't die. I don't anticipate we'll see a ton of him. I mean, he's
Right.
gone. I don't, but it was nice to see him. One of my questions was going to be about Tilka and Sam not being involved, but
Yeah.
you've answered that already.
Yep.
Um, so I thought that was interesting. I really like now that you've explained the whole trajectory, I really like how they did it.
Yeah.
They had the two parallel episodes that told completely different stories, obviously.
Yeah. And I think it's
And it just
especially with our show being such a big cast, and so like not that four is really a big cast, but it's a big cast with a lot
yeah.
of where all four of them have to do a lot of heavy acting,
Hmm.
and they kind of already solved the Richard Dean Anderson problem by like moving him up. But
Yeah.
and Amanda Tapping and Christopher Judge and Michael Shanks, like, while all of them are really great and their chemistry and them working together is really important, one of the reasons why the show got a little stagnant was because there wasn't a lot of room for any of their characters individually to grow.
Hmm.
And I think this season has done a really good job of giving each of them growth arcs without like minimizing the other characters.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And I feel like specifically with these two episodes, like they're different editors for the two episodes.
Hmm.
But they don't feel different, I guess. And I know like
Yeah.
they have a lot of the same team. Like I understand there's a lot of the same team working on these two
Yeah.
episodes. But like it felt so cohesive for something that was done separately and done like as two episodes as opposed to one. Like they could have,
Yeah.
theoretically done this as one
Well,
episode.
and I
Just had too
also
much going on.
Well, and I will also say, so this episode was written by Damien Kindler, but and obviously we have like our executive producers who also write,
Hmm.
and like you have a whole team that is basically working on every episode together, whether they're credited or not, because of the way like that kind of television was made at that time.
Right.
And I know for a fact, this episode, like I said, Rob Cooper originally gave the idea. And then there was
Hmm.
also they had a very short turnaround time for this episode because they basically had like two
Sure.
weeks to fix the script, finish the script, and Damien was working on another episode, so he did not do even though he's 100% credited for writing the script, he didn't do the like final versions, the final cleanups of the script, and I believe it was Rob Cooper who did, and Rob Cooper made it a lot funnier than Damien Kindler's um
That makes sense.
original draft. But a lot of that like comedy, like Hammond waking up from his dead thing while somebody's about to kiss him, and like all of Claudia Black's comments trying to have sex with Daniel. Like they're
Yeah.
all they make this episode so good.
It's so good. And I also like that was one of my thoughts when this episode started. I was like, here's another woman for Daniel to fall in love with. But she was different.
She's different.
Like, she's different. And like if
Yeah.
he falls in love with her, fine. I won't be upset about that being a love story. Because it doesn't feel the same as all the other
It doesn't,
time. It's just like,
it's not him getting accidentally sucked into a damsel in distress and feeling like he has to save the
right.
world like every other girl who's like, I love you because you're smart and you can save my people. This girl is like,
She's like, I don't beat you,
yeah,
but I will
like
sleep with you. Like,
she's the Han Solo, like to his
mhm,
Princess Leia for the first time
mhm.
ever. Every other girl he's ever met has been a Luke, and this is the first Han.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
um,
Yeah.
but also, what was I gonna say? Oh, but also like, um, oh, I didn't talk about my other favorite stupid moment of the show was when Novak suddenly stopped hiccuping. And then like they
Yeah.
had like a whole unnecessary scene about whether she was gonna start hiccuping or not. Like it was just some of the episode was so dumb, but it was so
Right.
funny. It was so good.
Yeah. I really liked it. This is probably one of my favorite episodes in a while.
Yeah.
Um, and I understand that it wasn't like super detrimental, I guess. I don't know.
No,
Like
I mean,
it
yes and no.
just
Like obviously, like
right.
we've been building up this they're gonna get to Atlantis and now we're not. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's more tension, it's more drawing that out. We introduce a new character, we get a flashback to Hammond. It isn't like a Stormer Eye, like Atlantis season cliffhanger thing like we just watched, but it's not a complete
Hmm.
throwaway episode, but it's just really good. And I feel like it feels a lot more like the pacing of some of the like, earlier comedy episodes that we haven't had in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
agree.
it's
I
one of my
agree.
favorites. I know. I've been so
Yeah.
excited about this one for so long. I was like, just wait, just wait.
Yeah. No, it was really fun. And that was episode 12, so we're over halfway because this one's 2021 for the
Um,
season.
yes,
Last week was the intro back, right? That was our season
yes.
premiere.
But I will say this is where we're about to enter our weird phase,
Hmm.
because we will not be watching episode 13 for a little bit
Okay.
at all.
A little bit at all. Okay.
Well, no, I mean we're gonna watch it, but like
Yeah, yeah.
not for you and me, not till January at least.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
skipping
Yeah.
13 for some time. Um, so the next
It's a long
episode,
time.
yeah, the next episode that we're going to be watching on the podcast is Stargate Atlantis season 13, which is the next episode in the order now that we got to the point where we did Atlantis first. After
Hmm.
when we came back. So the next episode we're watching for Atlantis is season 1, episode 13, which is uh a very different one than we've seen in a while for that show. Um, it'll be it's it's gonna feel more like SG-1 in some of it, like the way they do some things rather than
Interesting.
Atlantis. It's so it's exciting. It's a good one. But then we do some weird stuff because sometimes the writers write the shows and then change their mind about the way the episodes were actually supposed to air because they did not have a very, like I said, they often had like 2 weeks between episodes to like get their shit together. Um, so
Yeah.
so then we're gonna go to season 8, episode 14 when we go to back to SG-1 and you
Interesting.
um it is the return of someone you did not miss. So,
Kinsey. He always shows up.
yeah, it is Kenzie.
Always
um,
Kinsey.
yeah, so we're got some weird stuff going on, but like I said, if you ever get confused, it is in our Instagram. It's our pinned post on Instagram, which episodes we are watching, and I will try to at the end of every episode just make sure you know what's coming up next. So next week is Atlantis episode 13.
Hmm.
Um, so before we go, who do you want to punch?
Um, like want to punch anyone. I guess the guys, the alien guys on the planet.
That's fair. Mine is really a cop out. I want to punch Novak because I hate the sound of people hiccuping.
I almost said that. I don't have anything against hiccuping, but it was just kind of that was a little bit of a dumb storyline.
Yeah.
Uh, but I chose not to.
That's
That was
fair.
close.
That's fair. I was like, I love everyone in this episode, so I don't really there's not even really a bad guy because
Yeah.
Vala's the villain, but like,
But is she?
is she? I don't know.
Is she?
Um, so but yeah, I just don't like the sound of people hiccuping, so I could go back.
Yeah. Fair.
Um, who is your MVP?
Vala. I love her. I'm obsessed.
I told you you'd be obsessed with her. I knew you'd be
Yeah.
obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I picked Hammond.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
It was so good to see him back. And
Hmm.
he was so funny this episode. Like, now that he's not always have to be boss man, he is
Yeah.
funny. He gets to be
He's so
funny.
fun. Right.
Yeah. So we love that side of Hammond.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like this is like the shortest episode we've done in a while. But
Is
it's
it?
yeah, it's only been like 35 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought
But
it
it's
was more.
it's because we didn't end up spending 100 years talking about things that were unrelated to Stargate before
That's
we
true. That's true.
so um
For the best.
for the best, really. Could you imagine if we just talked about the shows? Maybe all of our episodes would be 35 minutes. Um,
Oh,
but then you guys wouldn't be as amused by us.
correct.
So,
Correct.
um, if you have any thoughts, theories, questions, if you also just want to talk about how much you love Vala, you can email us at deafandaliens@gmail.com, or you follow us on any of the social media at Deaf and Aliens. You can follow me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And you can find me at CE Cloud 13.
And we will see you on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.